Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Chrissy and I haven't posted anything in a while. I've only posted 2 videos. One that talks about my fertility problems and going through a polyp surgery, and then the other one is discussing my IUI and what medications I had to take for that. So I did want to update y'all about the IUI. I did get pregnant from it, so that was exciting. My baby girl now, well, she was a girl, that just tells you right there. She's 2 months old, and I'll be doing another video introducing her. But I did want to talk about the IUI and how that goes. The procedure was fast, easy, so don't worry if you're nervous about it. It doesn't hurt at all whatsoever. They didn't have to give me any type of numbing medication or do anything like that. Basically what you do is you go in, you give yourself a trigger shot to ovulate, and then about 2 days later you go in for the procedure. It's in the office, so I went into my fertility doctor that day after my husband provided a specimen that morning, and then that afternoon they insert it with a catheter into your uterus, and they release the specimen right there by your fallopian tube, so that way it meets the egg. So the specimen will just doesn't have that far to travel. Your egg should be waiting for it, and then it should hopefully attach together and you should have a baby. That's exactly what happened for me. Thankfully it worked on the first try, so that was so exciting because I heard a lot of stories how normally it takes about two to 3 times for that to work. So I was very grateful that it worked the first time. We found out on November 7th that I was pregnant. I took a positive pregnancy test that day. I had been testing for a few days because you're supposed to wait about 2 weeks before you find out, and I was testing for a few days before that with Dollar Tree pregnancy test. So they were cheap, so I was testing like maybe twice a day with my first morning urine, and then later on in the day too. And I had noticed a little line, and I was like, what? Is this for real? Like, is this line, is this an evap line? What is this line? So I wasn't sure, but I kept all the tests, and I noticed that every day that line was getting a little bit darker. So I was like, okay, this is not an evap line. Evap lines don't get darker. They don't have a color. Sometimes they have a little bit of a color because I've been trying for 2 years, so I've taken so many pregnancy tests and so many Dollar Tree tests, and they can totally trick you. You think you see a line and you think you see color, and sometimes you may see a little color, but it's not a positive pregnancy test. This was different. There was definitely some slight like purple pinkish color to it, and I wasn't sure if I was imagining it, but obviously I wasn't, because that line was getting darker. It didn't really get really dark until after I got my positive pregnancy test on the Clearblue digital one. But so I did go out and buy the Clearblue test, and that's where I got my first positive test. And that was on November 7th, 2015 at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, so I woke my husband up and told him about it. And I didn't do it in any cool, there's different ways you can tell your husband you're pregnant. I just, 5 o'clock in the morning, woke him up and was like, I'm pregnant. So that same day I was like, I need to go get a digital test. So I went and got a Clearblue digital pregnancy test, and it told me I was 1 to 2 weeks pregnant. So that was so exciting. I'll put the video of my live pregnancy test in this video so you can see. This is really happening. How many weeks am I? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. 1 to 2 weeks. That's it, guys. I'm pregnant. Yes, that was it. So you do have to go, when you're doing a procedure like this, you do have to go back to the doctor to get it confirmed with a blood test. So we went back on, I think it was November 8th, 2015, did the blood test. It confirmed a positive pregnancy test. That's when we told our families that we were expecting a baby. We didn't do it any cool way either. We just told them we're pregnant. So that was exciting. And then after that, because we were seeing a fertility doctor, you get to go for ultrasounds way more often than you would if you weren't seeing a fertility doctor. So we got to go every 2 weeks and see this little baby grow from like the littlest thing to a baby, you know, developing her arms, her legs, her head. I mean, her body was growing. It was so cool to see that. And then at about 12 weeks is when my fertility doctor released me to go to my regular OB doctor. And then that's where the ultrasounds stopped being so frequent, and then I only got them every I think it was like one every trimester or something. So I was spoiled at my fertility doctor, but you know, it is what it is. So that's basically it. I'd highly recommend doing an IUI if that's something that you feel may be for you. We definitely couldn't afford IVF, so that was out of the question for us. So this was our only option to try anything to help us medically. And you know, some people may struggle with deciding whether or not this is an option for them. I did, because I thought, you know, if it's meant for us to have a baby, it will happen. God will provide us a baby. But it didn't happen that way naturally. It just wasn't meant for us, I guess, because, you know, I prayed about it so much, and he just one day spoke to me, and I just felt this strong, intense urge, and I told my husband, we're doing an IUI. That's what we have to do. I feel like God's telling us we need to do it. So I struggled a lot with that because I didn't want to cheat, and it's not cheating. I realize that now. It's what we had to do, and it worked. So he was definitely telling me to do it. Thank you, God, for that. And we're very, very blessed that it worked the first time, because I don't know if we'd be able to even afford to do it a second time, even though it's not as expensive as an IVF, but still it costs a lot of money if you don't have a lot of money. So that's it for my IUI. If there's anything that I didn't go over about the IUI, there's not much to talk about. It's a pretty easy, simple procedure, so don't be scared. But if there's something that you have a question about, please let me know, and I'll be happy to do another video if I get enough questions about it, or I'll just respond to your comments below. So please subscribe. I'll be posting videos weekly, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Bye, guys.